The bird just landed, y'all.
Y'all let the beat knock.
They in. Hey, what's going on? This is JLTBK from JLTBK Productions. Today, I'm actually going to be recording this video in sections, maybe 2 or 3 parts. I just got in the Focal, the 80 Evo, whatever they are. And the reason for me actually purchasing these monitors is because my Yamahas, the HS8s, one of them started giving me some sounds as if they were busted or something's wrong with them. I looked at the production date on them. I think the production date was like 2016, so I've had them for quite some time, and I usually crank them pretty loud. I'm a producer, beat maker, and you know I make music on my leisure time as a hobby of mine. You know, I do it for the passion of it. Within the time I actually purchased them to now, they've taken a beating. I've moved them several times. I moved from one location to the next. I just always had them cranked, and they finally started giving me some sounds in them where I feel like that I needed to upgrade. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually gonna be connecting these today. I'm not gonna bore you guys with an unboxing. I'm actually gonna go ahead and set these up and put them behind me. Right now I'm running my Atom Audios, the A7Vs, and to be honest, those I actually really didn't like them when I first got them, but it took some time for me to break them in, and I actually like them now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect these Focal Evo 80s up, and I'm probably gonna be listening to them at different levels for about a month, maybe 2 weeks, just to kind of give it that time to break in. And then I'm gonna come back to you guys with that second or third part and let you know how I compare these Focals to the HS8s. Now, I've had these for some time, the HS8s, and I don't have any complaints or never had complaints with them, other than that sometimes, the high end can be a little bit harsh. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and hook these things up. Some of the features that it has around back is it has a safety shutoff switch where I believe after 15 to 20 minutes the actual speaker shuts itself off, and it does have a toggle switch where you can remove that feature in the back, as you can see. Also, it has a low shelf and a high shelf knob where you can dial back the highs or dial back the lows or boost them. I've had them hooked up for about 2 weeks, I believe, going on 3 weeks. And my overall, what I think about them at this moment, I'm kind of 50-50 on them. I hooked them up initially, and I got them up about at the midway, a little bit over the midway, and I got a little bit of the low end turned off. So now my differences between the HS8s and the EVOs, what I notice is that the low mid frequency, the low end is definitely there. You can feel it. The mid frequencies and the low frequencies, they are a lot more snappier. The highs on them, they're not as harsh, but not much of a difference. But it was something that I noticed about these speakers that I did not like. And what I didn't like about them is when you crank them a little bit, I think they kind of go into like safe mode, which could be a good thing too. So that way, you're not going to blow your speakers. But I make bass heavy music at times. So what it'll be like if it's a kick and an 808 together, it kind of has like that ducking effect that that you do when you go on your DAW when you want your kick to be prominent and your 808 to kind of duck down. I guess when they're being driven a little bit too hard, that ducking effect kind of comes in, and I don't like that. I like it to come in. If I bust the speakers, I bust the speakers. I got a 2-year warranty on them through Sweetwater. Oh well, you know what I mean? I got 2 years to kind of really crank them. And like I said in the beginning, I crank my speakers. I like them to be up so I can kind of get the feeling of them. As far as like the price point, you know, when I purchased these EVOs, I think the Yamaha HS8s were on sale. There was like a promotion where I think they were $199 or $250. I could have got a new set for half the price what I paid for these. I could have just got a new set of HS8s for half the price. So now when you look at the aspect of, you know, should I pay $400 or $500 or do I pay $1,100? And when you look at the price point for what you get, the subtle changes and the subtle differences in the EVO HS8, was it really worth that extra $500 to $600? And in my humble opinion, if you don't really have a treated room, if you're not doing really crazy mixes like that for clients and things of that nature, I would recommend that you just go ahead and get the Yamaha HS8s. And save that extra $500 and maybe spend that extra $500 on room treatment or any other gear that you may want. Hey, what's going on? This is my last part of the actual, I guess you could say, a review for the Focal 80 EVOs. It's been almost 2 months since I haven't had them. And my review thus far is it's actually a pretty decent monitor. Now that I've had them a little bit longer and I've actually put them through its paces, it actually sounds like a really, really decent monitor. The ducking effect that I was talking about in the beginning and when I first had unboxed them and listened to them, and the actual second recording when I had the Focals for 2 or 3 weeks, the ducking effect is at a minimal. And now that I actually sit and I think about it, it's actually a really, really good feature that the actual speaker has. I guess what the speaker is doing is it's protecting itself from it being overdriven and actually causing to damage your speakers. However, I guess the more you play music through the speakers and the more that you actually break it in, the less and less of the ducking effect that you actually get. You know, it's still there when you drive the speakers hard, and that may be a good thing, you know, to kind of protect itself from it busting, you know, because that's the issue that I have with my Yamaha HS8. You know, when I crank them a little bit too hard, you kind of hear a little rattling in my left side, you know, letting me know that it's actually, you know, time to replace them or busted. Now, my honest opinion on do I recommend these, it just depends on what your budget is. You know, if you're a first time, if it's your first time purchasing some speakers and you kind of want to get into some really decent sounding speakers and you don't want to break the bank, my recommendation is just to go with the Yamaha HSAs. They're affordably priced. They sound very decent. They give you an accurate sound. I'm used to them because I think it's been about 7 or 8 years that I've had them, and I'm used to them. The only thing is just harsh on the top end, and that's something that you can kind of fix in the mix, or that's something that, you know, can be addressed just by turning down the volume knob. All right, so in conclusion, you know, what everybody wants to hear, would I recommend these speakers? And the answer is yes, I would recommend these speakers over the HS8s. The only way I wouldn't recommend these speakers over the HS8s is if you were paying full price for the HS8s. So what I mean by that is I know in this video I explained that, you know, I saw that the HS8s were on special, and they were on special. I think they were like $100 off of each speaker, which would have given it a $200 discount. So I think at that time when I was looking at these speakers, it put the HS8s at around 500 or 600 bucks. 600 bucks, I think it was. So with that being said, so at 600 bucks, and the EVOs go for about $1,000 a pair. So in that situation, $400 cheaper, I would go with the Yamaha HS8s. However, regular price for the Yamaha HS8s are sitting at around $800, $399 a piece. So if you're getting them everything for regular price, you could pay $200 to have a better speaker. And what I mean by that is you get a low end that sounds good. I've heard the KRKs. I know the KRK has a low end too, and it's kind of an exaggerated low end. And you get a really tight mid frequency with these focals as well, and they just look really nice, and they're front ported, and that's one thing that I really enjoy about these speakers is that they are front ported. Oftentimes when I had the Yamaha HS8s behind me, when they would hit, being that I didn't have a treated room, it would make my room rattle, and that wasn't good. So yes, I would definitely recommend the Focals over the Yamaha HS8s, and that's just in my opinion. Everybody has different situations on why they would like or dislike something, or why they would choose or not to choose a certain product. This is just my opinion, so take it as you may. Not by any means am I saying that the Yamaha HS8s are not good. They're phenomenal speakers. If I had to do it all over again, and after hearing these speakers, and I had a choice to pick them after I demoed these, and the Yamaha HS8s were still on sale, I probably would have got a pair of Yamaha HS8s, just simply because I was going to pay $500 or $600 for them. So that was a really good deal. But my mind state at the time was, as I already had the Yamaha HS8s, let me see what these sound like. I'm really comfortable with the purchase and the decision that I made, and I have no regrets. In the beginning, I really did not like the speakers, simply because it was lowering my 808 volumes when it hit. But now that they're a little bit more broken in, I believe the only reason why, and it's very minimal now, and I believe the only reason why it's probably lowering the 808 volume is just to kind of keep the speaker safe and not from breaking or busting, whatever you may say. And that's okay. In that situation, I know to turn that 808 down a little bit, so maybe that might help me in further mixing choices in the future. So if this video was useful for you, give me a thumbs up. If it wasn't, then you can give me a thumbs down or say something crazy in the comments. I'll respond. But yeah, like I said, man, it costs you no money to put a like or a comment or something like that. It's free. Only thing you gotta do is just use your fingers. Thanks for watching. You have a good one. It's JLTBK from JLTBK Productions. I'm out.